Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
All right, well, I'm excited to be back here on the podcast with a really good agent. I consider him a really good friend as well. I'm here with Eric Tackett.
Like the pronunciations.
Well, you know, it's not Eric Turkett. It's Eric Tackett.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. The reason why I have you on the podcast today is because I think you would be somebody that would, join me in, the success story of using some of the tools we're using.
Okay.
And one of those is something that we've been wanting to talk about for probably about 3 weeks now. We hinted that we have a driveway presentation.
Right.
An 8-point driveway presentation that we're constantly updating so that when we meet people, we can break it out on our phone. It's literally a PowerPoint presentation or a keynote presentation. And it's been very powerful for a lot of agents to break that out and show that we, have command of this kind of technology. We have this information right here. And it's been very impressive. So,
well, information is the key word.
That's right.
And I think when you start dealing with buyers, it's taking a step back. The house is one thing if you love the house, but let's talk about the process and what.
That's right.
And a lot of buyers have that anxiety, and let's just talk about the steps.
Yeah.
And I used to be in a different business, and I used to always say, if you tell people what's next, they don't get scared or they're not getting nervous. They understand the process, and they're knowledgeable about it. And
right.
So I think it's very important to have the.
I think when you meet with a buyer for the first time and you're standing there on the driveway and you're kind of talking about the home, kind of talking about maybe some icebreaker stuff, but this is really designed for that first time you meet a prospective buyer, and what's probably going through their head is this a good agent? Do they know what they're doing? Sure. Am I making a right decision here?
Right.
So this is a presentation that's you can put in front of them right there on the driveway. It shouldn't take more than I've got them down to about 4 minutes, and it's an 8-point presentation. So that means each point should take around 30 seconds or less.
I don't think either one of us can do it in 4 minutes because we talk too much.
It's not easy. I didn't say it was easy for me.
Okay.
We are, for those of you who are watching this live, you're actually going to be able to cut away. We put a camera on the driveway presentation, so I'll be sure not to move the laptop. I'm using my iPad. I don't use an iPad. I actually use my cell phone when I do this.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I have a large enough iPhone. If you have one of those people that like the little microphones, you can't do it.
You can't see it.
Yeah, you're going to have to do this on an iPad. So we're going to do this on the iPad. But basically, you meet somebody, you show them the house, you're standing in the driveway, and sometimes the driveway, if it's a vacant home, the driveway presentation can happen in the kitchen. So you can rename this if you want to.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the driveway.
No.
Wait just a second. Let's go out to the driveway. This is not going to work here.
I'd love to share some things with you, but we're in the wrong spot. Can we move to the driveway? So, but anyway, it basically starts with, you bringing out your phone and saying, has anybody taken the time to walk you through the current home buying process? And I like to always put the date in there. I mean, like right now, in such and such date, and you use the current date.
And you tell me if yours is the same. Most of the time when I ask that question, most buyers
they say no.
Say no.
They say no. It does. Well, you want them to say no.
Right, absolutely. But it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to finish my thought. The reason why we're even doing this is because we made mention of this about 3 weeks ago. And I've gotten tons of texts and tons of people through YouTube, through various sources, even through our podcast channel, where they're saying, "I want to see that driveway presentation you're talking about." I think a lot of people thought it was paper, but we literally do this just like this. So, if you say, "Has anybody taken the time to explain to you or walk you through the current buying process right now?" and you put the date on it and like today's date, then they're going to just naturally assume that what you're about to share with them is really super current. So even if they kind of know what the process is, they're probably still going to say, well, no. Because if you say, has anyone walked you through the buying process right now, what it's like right now in December of 2023 or 2020, be very specific. It's gonna make them say no. So we just get right into, well, here's 8 things to consider, and boom, we jump right into it. So the number one, we want to, help me get clear on what your needs are. So that's something we're going to do to work together,
sure.
right? So there's plenty of homes to choose from. So we need to rate them. It's very likely that there's 40 homes in their price range. Because there's a lot more listings now, So let's rate them from 7 to 10, right? 7 to 10 is an offer territory, and a 1 to 6 is never show again, right? So you just want to kind of help them focus on the top 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it also, I think, a lot of people don't know what their 7 to 10 is. They think they know, but then when they see a home, then it starts, some of those needs change a little bit.
That's right.
But that's why we like to do 7 to 10, because at the end of showing 6 homes, okay, well, we can eliminate these, and this is the reason why, and we're going to keep these. We didn't think we wanted that in a house, but we do.
Yeah.
So
what's funny is in this presentation, we talk about how we want to rate them, but really what Lorianne and I do when we have people rate their properties, we have them rate them from 1 to 7. So this is a little off of how we do it in real life.
I think the important thing is they're thinking about what that process is and what the importance are.
And to give them, if you rate them, then it opens up the conversation and so forth. So, especially as we're doing this online, showing me homes and you looking at them, and if you're already rating them, 6, then it's not worth the gas to go there. Let's look at the ones that rank from 7 to 10. And then next, we just talk about technology. Look, we want to embrace technology here with emails, texting, videos, FaceTime, using the apps like Zillow, kvCORE, MLS. We have our own custom app that people can shop on that allows us to see in real time what they're looking at. And if we understand the best way to use those apps, and you understand the best practices, I should say, to use those apps, then it's going to make us, we're never going to get to a place where we're kind of frustrated, like, well, geez, I didn't know you liked that one.
Right.
What do you mean you want to go see 123 Main Street? I thought you liked the one on Banana Street.
Right.
Well, if we're using the same apps and we're communicating the same way, then it's going to really help us in this process.
Right.
So, and again, while I'm doing this presentation, really quick, in literally 4 minutes in front of someone, and you can see how simple these slides are.
Yeah.
That it doesn't take long. It really does take 30 seconds. But what you're presuming, and you're putting in presumptive phrases. I think I just made up a word. I just made up a word there.
It's the phrases.
You're presuming, you're putting in phrases that are presuming that they're going to work with you.
Right.
So as you're going through this, you're explaining to them that while we are going through this process together, we want to make sure that there's no hiccups. There's no miscommunication, all of that stuff, right? So you're just assuming that you're going to work with them. The third thing is you still have to be ready. Now, this might seem like it's a little outdated because the market has shifted, but number 3 is still really important because
for sure,
even though there's a lot more inventory out there, the hot homes are still going really fast. I just called on a property for a client that said, I love this neighborhood. I want to go check out this home. I called and she had a vague question about the property. Actually, she had a very specific question about the property. She wanted to go see it. Called the agent to take it. Oh, I'm so sorry. We just accepted an offer. I'm like, it's only been on the house for 4 days.
Well, how about the one the listing we did the other day? Was it Wednesday? We put it on the put it live. We were called 2 or 3 times in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
we were showing it within 6 hours or something like that. It's something crazy.
So there's an example of a really hot house. So you still at least have to have a mentality of we still have to be ready. And then as you get through into the presentation with them, they're going to get the sense of, they need to be kind of ready in season and out of season depending on the property. The fourth thing is just, help me understand how you're going to purchase this.
And help them understand how they're going to purchase
That's right.
it.
But see, if you ask them, how are you going to purchase it? Help me understand how you're going to purchase this. If they say, well, I'm not sure, then that opens up another category.
And that's why we're here, to help them.
That's right. Exactly. So are you going to pay cash? I always start with cash because that just makes people feel good.
Sure.
You're looking at an $800,000 house. Are you going to pay cash?
Yeah.
Right? So is it cash, financing? What type of loan? Are you interested in a 2-1 or a 3-1 buy down? Do you even know what that is? Perhaps we can look at some, financing that includes an arm, right?
And I find a lot of times in this driveway consultation that this is the area that we really help a lot.
Definitely.
And getting them into they don't know.
They don't.
And
they don't.
And we really, I think that's where a good agent will say, okay, come with me. Let me walk you over here and we're going to, walk you through this process. And
I mean, if they blurt out immediately, cash, then you can just move on.
Yeah, for sure.
But you still, throughout the presentation, you're letting them know, all right, I need to know how you're going to purchase this so I can, the more knowledge I have in the buying equation, the better we're all going to be, right?
Right.
And the fifth one is just understanding the contract. There's a lot of changes that have happened in the contract just in the last 2 years.
It's changed 3 times in the last year.
It's changed 3 times in 3 years.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And substantial changes too.
Right.
So we want to avoid the learning curve delays in this process. So we're gonna take some time in the next day or two, or maybe over the phone or with a Zoom call. I want to help you with the contract so you understand it, because I don't want you to fear the contract. There's nothing to be afraid of. The more you understand the contract, the less you'll be afraid of it.
And it's there to protect them.
Oh, for sure, especially as a buyer.
Right.
The sixth point to go over is letting them know that you want to compile a really solid file on them, so that back to number 3, where you have to move pretty quick on some of these properties. You're ready. We already have a copy of your proof of funds. We already have your pre-approval letter. We already have maybe a cover letter with a touching story about why you need to relocate into this area, things like that. We have that. We got it ready to go. The 7th thing is just really get clear on the terms. Now, this is something that I'm going to explain to them, that these are my responsibilities primarily, but I need to show you this so that you understand that I'm doing these things for you. I'm going to figure out what the length of the escrow should be. I'm going to figure, and that's based on what the seller needs, or what your needs are as a buyer. Maybe you're a contingent buyer, right? So you need that. Who the escrow and title services are going to be, then negotiating the home warranty, negotiating the exclusions or inclusions in the home, right? Negotiating seller paid buy downs and closing costs, things like that. I'm doing that as the agent.
Sure.
Right? So you're explaining this to them, getting clear on what's leased or liened, like solar, things like that. And the 8th thing is just, hey, I want to get you enrolled in our free VIP buyer program.
What's the VIP program?
Oh, it's a wonderful program. And then at that point, I literally put the phone back into my pocket and I break out the VIP buyer program, which we'll do in another episode, that just explains to them, I'm going to enroll you in this for free. It's going to give you this advantage, this advantage, this advantage, this advantage. Oh, and by the way, it also includes a love it or leave it program. So if you buy a home and you're not really happy with it for some reason, don't worry. If it's within the first year and you really got to get out, then we'll sell it for free. We won't charge you any fees on our side. So that really helps them. Yeah. It gets them excited to be like, hey, I don't have to fear any of this process. So,
and we've got a lot of that going on right now.
We do. There's a lot
of the last 3 years. We're getting a lot of phone calls now from people that bought 12 months ago.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that
without
bought 12
guidance
months ago that are disappointed. They're like, oh, I'm kind of...
Now they want good representation, so they're calling us and needing help.
Yep, exactly. So that's all. That was just a quick podcast. I wanted to really answer the call of people saying, I want to see this driveway presentation. But I also wanted to show everyone how simple it is. I mean, all you really need to do is just break out the phone, kind of get alongside them, put it in front of them, and just, go through it.
It shows your value. It really shows your value.
Yeah.
I think it's, there's a lot of people look at agents as
Yeah.
just, hey, they're just going to go tour me through a tour guide, tour me through that house and tell me what kind of flooring that is.
Yeah.
And that's not what
not
we
it.
do.
Right.
Maybe some agents do that, but not here at the Our Team. We don't do that.
When I sent this to the team, I let everyone know that the first 2 slides are not needed. I always start my presentation at the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even show them anything until I ask, and because of course, 8 things to consider. You don't.
Yeah.
But I just simply ask them, hey, I have my phone. It's all ready to go. My presentation's ready to go. Has anybody taken the time to sort of walk you through what it's like to buy a home right now, January 1st, 2023? Oh, no? Oh, here, let me show you this. And then you have this slide ready to go. And as you're showing it, you're saying, I want to show you 8 things. Boom. And then you just get into it. That's why you can kind of learn and role plan how to get really efficient with this. But when you're done with the presentation, every time I've done it, if it's a couple, they're looking at each other like, that was freaking amazing.
Right.
That is so cool. And then while they're saying that was so cool, I've already put it back in my pocket, my phone, and I'm breaking out the VIP, and I'm showing them that. So
I think that's what
really
puts us above your average agent.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we go above and beyond
For sure.
for our customer. We want to know exactly what they want.
Yep.
I don't want to waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to the nuts and bolts. Let's
Right.
go. This is what we're going to do, and let me explain how this works. I
Right.
mean, it's just...
And if you're an agent listening to this and you're thinking, gosh, I need to implement this, reach out to us. I can, give you some templates or show you how we're doing it, because you're probably offering services that are way above and beyond too.
Yeah.
But you're assuming that they just know that you're a great agent. But these are the things that help show that you actually are a great agent. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's it.
That's great.
Anything else to add?
No.
We,
And if
before we go
you
away?
are an agent outside of EXP, come join us.
You should. Listen, thanks for being here. Appreciate you watching.
All right,
If you're doing this live, watching us on Facebook, that's kind of awkward, but hi, it's good to see you. We're also on YouTube. We're on almost every place you can listen to a podcast. Did you know people actually listen to these too? They don't just watch them.
Oh, really?
I look way better when you're just listening and not watching.
They told me I have a face for radio.
Yes, you do. And it's a great face for radio. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you on
Thank
the next
you.
one. Thanks for being here. Hey, wait, before you go, I wanted to quickly thank you for tuning in to the Our Team podcast. And whether you're listening on Facebook Live or you're tuning in on YouTube or maybe listening to a podcast, I wanted to just say, if you found any value in this, would you please take the time to like and subscribe? And if you leave a comment, that really helps the show as well. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the next one.